else. With the non-yuan duo taken care of, Lin Zishan proceeds to systematically take down the rest of the boys in the class one after another with the same effortless efficiency. After defeating all the male students, he checks his system. He notes that according to the survival of the fittest achievement rules, defeating the same person multiple times only counts once. This means his only remaining opponents in the class are the girls. He wonders if any of them will even be willing to spar with him. To his complete surprise, the girls are more than willing. A crowd of his female classmates gathers, blushing and eagerly making heart gestures, all wanting a chance to fight him. The first to volunteer is Chu Yutong, who excitedly raises her hand and challenges him. She leaps into the ring and attacks with surprising speed and agility. However, Lin Zichen is still on another level. He easily dodges her attack, leaving her to comment on his incredible speed. She gracefully lands, disappointed that she came so close but couldn't even grab him. Unexpectedly, after Chu Yutong's defeat, the other girls also volunteer to challenge him one by one. Of course, Lin Zichen holds back considerably when facing the girls. His main goal isn't to hurt them but simply to win the official matches and complete his achievement as quickly as possible. Soon, Lin Zichen finishes sparring with all the girls in his class. While he has successfully defeated every student, he is still far from completing his achievement task. He is a bit disappointed, but his mood quickly changes when his teacher, Yao Yuanfeng, suddenly announces some good news. The teacher praises the class and tells them that as elite students, they must learn to challenge those above them. He then announces that in 1 month, their class will challenge the strongest regular class in the second year, and he expects them to be ready. Lin Zichen, who was just feeling frustrated about the lack of opponents to speed up his survival of the fittest achievement, is overjoyed. A new match has been delivered right to his door, a true blessing. After the teacher dismisses the class, a newly humbled Lu Gang approaches Lin Zichen. He admits he had underestimated the school and declares that from now on, he will consider Lin Zichen his rival for the next 3 years. Lin Zichen realizes that with the teacher's plan to constantly challenge other classes, completing his achievement within a year might not be impossible. Wang Shuojie also confronts him, vowing to wash away the humiliation of his defeat before they graduate. Lin Zichen, however, is more focused on the practical benefits. He calculates that he has earned over 3,000 yuan from the exam prizes alone. This excites him, as he can now use this money to buy more beast meat. He clenches his fist, completely ignoring the non-yuan duo, who are left fuming at his arrogant dismissal. That night, back in his room, he considers his financial situation. Although he earned some money from the rewards, it is still far from enough to buy all the beast meat he needs. To earn more money, he decides to follow in his parents' footsteps and registers as a web novel author, beginning his writing journey. Thanks to his celestial root of wisdom, his writing is exceptional. The next morning, he finds a contract invitation from the Yuan platform in his messages. After signing the contract, a piece of news from that very day catches his eye. The report is about a terrifying incident just 2 hours ago. A giant mutant rat had attacked a frozen meat cold storage facility on the outskirts of the city. The news report details the horrific attack. The mutant rat was over 5 meters long and so powerful that it bit a responding cyborg in half. In a final, desperate act, the captured cyborg activated its hidden backup energy core to self-destruct, taking the enemy with it. The resulting explosion was massive, blowing the giant mutant rat to pieces on the spot. Reading the news, Lin Zichen is horrified. He stares at an image of a monstrous rat, wondering with growing dread how many more of these giant mutant rats are hidden in Shanghai City. He also questions where such enormous creatures could possibly be hiding. The day of the sparring session against the strongest regular class of the second year arrives, and the students gather at the Shanghai High Gymnasium. Before the match, the teacher, Yao Yuanfeng, holds a strategy meeting with his top fighters. He warns them that while their top fighters are strong, the opposing class is stronger overall and will likely use defensive tactics to wear them down. He orders them to finish their fights as quickly as possible. The moment the meeting is over, Lin Zichen rushes towards the ring. Eager to defeat as many new opponents as possible to complete his survival of the fittest achievement, he volunteers to go first. His opponent, a tall girl with long blonde hair from the second-year class, steps into the ring. Seeing who she's up against, she immediately complains to her teacher, pointing out that the elite class has sent their strongest fighter out first. She claims she is the weakest student in her own class, and questions how she is supposed to fight him. Hearing this, teacher Yao Yuanfeng storms over to the opposing teacher, an older man he calls Brother Feng. He angrily accuses him of breaking the unspoken rules of class sparring, which dictate that the weakest students should fight first. He demands to know why the other teacher sent his strongest student to fight in the first match. To settle the dispute, teacher Yao orders Lin Zichen down from the stage, telling him he can go later and to let the weaker students go first. Lin Zichen reluctantly agrees and steps down. The teacher then points to Zhong Yijia and tells her to go first, but she is caught off guard and protests that she isn't ready. Seeing an opportunity, Shen Qinghan steps forward. She volunteers to fight, telling teacher Yao that since she is the weakest, she should be the one to go first. Shen Qinghan nervously enters the ring to face the tall blonde girl, clearly intimidated. From the sidelines, her classmates, including Chu Rui and He Yu, begin to cheer loudly, shouting encouragement for their friend, Han Han. However, the sudden pressure only makes Shen Qinghan even more nervous. The match begins, and the blonde girl immediately attacks with a powerful punch, which Shen Qinghan manages to block. Despite being outmatched, Shen Qinghan is determined. She knows she can't win, but resolves to hold on for as long as possible, adopting a purely defensive strategy to drain her opponent's stamina. Her plan proves surprisingly effective. 3 minutes later, the blonde girl is breathing heavily, surprised by Shen Qinghan's endurance. She realizes that if the fight continues, she will run out of stamina and decides she must finish the match quickly. She rushes forward with a final decisive punch. The blow lands, and Shen Qinghan is knocked to the ground, defeated. As she gets back on her feet, she is visibly embarrassed. The teacher, Yao Yuanfeng, praises her performance. He gives her a thumbs up, telling her she did great and that her defensive strategy was very smart. Lin Zichen also comforts her, patting her head gently. He tells her she did well, lasting over 3 minutes against a senior with an extra year of training, and that she has made big progress. Reassured, Shen Qinghan looks up at him with a happy smile. Following Shen Qinghan's defeat, another female classmate with brown hair from the elite class steps into the ring. Seeing that her senior opponent is running out of stamina after the previous match, she sees an opportunity and rushes in to attack. She throws a powerful kick, but the more experienced senior easily dodges the blow and counters with a swift punch to the face. The brown-haired girl is quickly overpowered and pinned to the ground, where she cries out in pain and is forced to surrender. Standing over her defeated opponent, the senior mockingly asks if she was looking down on the regular class by charging in so recklessly. She continues to taunt the girl, telling her that while she may not have her talent, she has trained for a whole year longer. She dismisses her, telling her to come back and fight again after she's trained for another year. Just then, Chu Rui steps forward. Filled with determination, she declares that she will avenge Shen Qinghan and crush the senior. Chu Rui proves to be a formidable fighter. She easily defeats her senior opponent with a single, powerful punch. From the sidelines, Shen Qinghan cheers enthusiastically, calling out how amazing Chu Rui was. Lin Zichen tells Shen Qinghan that she was amazing too, explaining that Chu Rui's victory was easy only because Shen Qinghan had drained the senior's stamina first. Shen Qinghan smiles happily. 2 hours later, the sparring session continues, and the elite class has evened the score. Teacher Yao Yuanfeng approaches the second-year teacher, Brother Feng, and taunts him, pointing out that his class only has 4 fighters left and that he is confident his class will win the bet. However, he then turns to his students and warns them not to get complacent. He declares that the true strength of their class lies with their 4 top fighters, Lin Zichen, Wang Shuojie, Lu Gong, and He Yu. The real showdown is just beginning. Following his teacher's declaration, He Yu is ordered to go up next. He cracks his knuckles with a determined look and enters the ring with a dramatic, ground-pounding pose. He strikes a fighting stance and theatrically asks his senior opponent if he is prepared to face his fists, which he claims are thirsty for battle. The senior, a boy with brown hair, smirks and tells He Yu not to be so childish and overly dramatic. Annoyed, He Yu immediately attacks with a swift kick, sending the senior crashing to the ground in defeat. Standing over his fallen opponent, He Yu mocks him, questioning where he got the confidence to act so tough with such a low skill level, and calling him trash. Just as He Yu celebrates his victory, another, more formidable senior with purple-tinged hair stomps into the ring. He glares at He Yu, calling him arrogant for his taunts. The senior immediately lunges with a powerful punch, vowing to teach his junior opponent some intensity. To the senior's shock, He Yu moves with incredible speed, effortlessly dodging the attack. He Yu then counters with a powerful kick that sends the senior flying, knocking him out. Seeing his impressive victory, Chu Rui and Shen Qinghan erupt in cheers, shouting encouragement for He Yu. Fueled by his success, He Yu goes on an incredible winning streak, defeating several more opponents in quick succession. After taking down 5 consecutive fighters, He Yu stands exhausted, breathing heavily. Despite his fatigue, he puts on a brave face and defiantly shouts for the next opponent, boasting he can still take on 10 more. However, it's clear he is running out of stamina. His impressive run ends when he is defeated by his 6th opponent. With He Yu eliminated, the situation looks dire for the elite class. They are now down to their last 3 fighters, while the second-year class still has 13 members remaining. With He Yu defeated, Wang Shuojie is next. He unleashes his full power, going on an incredible winning streak and single-handedly defeating 10 opponents in a flurry of furious kicks and punches. However, the long series of battles takes its toll. During his 11th match, Wang Shuojie finally runs out of stamina and is defeated. Following him is Lu Gang, who quickly dispatches 2 more of the opposing team's top fighters in less than 10 minutes. With their opponents now down to their last fighter, teacher Yao Yuanfeng smugly suggests that the second-year teacher, Brother Feng, should just surrender. Brother Feng, however, remains unfazed. He smirks and calls forth his final student, Wang Jinhei, telling him it is his turn. A new challenger steps forward, an enormous, overweight student who towers over Lu Gang. Despite his opponent's intimidating size, Lu Gang is not impressed. Dismissing him as just a slightly larger fatty, he rushes into attack, confident he can beat him. He lands a powerful punch on Wang Jinhei's massive belly, but to his shock, the blow has no effect. He feels as if he just punched solid rubber. He tries again, unleashing a rapid barrage of punches, but all his attacks are harmlessly absorbed by his opponent's thick layer of fat. Soon, Lu Gang is left panting and exhausted, realizing his attacks are useless. His opponent, who has not moved an inch, looks down at him with a calm expression. He asks if Lu Gang is finished, because now it is his turn. Before Lu Gang can react, Wang Jinhei grabs him by the neck with incredible strength. With a single, effortless motion, he throws Lu Gang out of the ring, securing the victory and leaving the elite class with only 1 fighter remaining. Stunned by such a powerful fighter, teacher Yao Yuanfeng exclaims that he doesn't remember the second-year class having such a strong student. The opposing teacher, Brother Feng, smirks and explains that Wang Jinhei is a new transfer student who just arrived this semester. He then smugly reminds teacher Yao about their bet, telling him it looks like he is going to lose and will have to buy dinner for the entire opposing class. Realizing he has been tricked by his rival's secret weapon, Teacher Yao clenches his fist in frustration, worried that not even Lin Zichen can defeat this monster. Despite his doubts, he puts on a brave face for his last student. He places a hand on Lin Zichen's shoulder and tells him it's his turn, encouraging him to just do his best and not worry too much about winning, as the experience will be valuable. Lin Zichen simply smiles and reassures his teacher that he will win, leaving the man speechless. As Lin Zichen steps into the ring, Wang Jinhei looks down at him, unimpressed. He dismisses his opponent as looking rather weak to be his class's final ace. From the sidelines, Shen Qinghan, Chu Rui, and the other girls from the elite class shout insults at Wang Jinhei, calling him an arrogant fatty and cheering for Lin Zichen to teach the dead pig a lesson. Annoyed by the taunts, Wang Jinhei decides to offer a handicap. He tells Lin Zichen he will stand still and allow him 10 free hits. He explains that he doesn't want Lin Zichen and his little fangirls to complain later that he was just bullying a smaller opponent. Lin Zichen happily accepts the offer. Wang Jinhei tells him to come at him with his full power. Without hesitation, Lin Zichen unleashes a single devastating punch to his opponent's massive stomach. The force of the blow is so immense that it sends the enormous Wang Jinhei spinning through the air before he crashes hard onto the floor, knocked out cold. Both classes are left in stunned silence, which is quickly broken by a massive, tearful cheer from the elite class as they celebrate Lin Zichen's incredible victory. A few moments later, Wang Jinhei slowly begins to regain consciousness, completely disoriented. He groggily wonders where he is and what just happened, muttering that the outcome was completely illogical and unscientific. After Lin Zichen's victory, the second-year teacher approaches Yao Yuanfeng, the elite class's teacher. He remarks on how powerful Lin Zichen was, comparing his one-punch victory over Wang Jinhei to a former prodigy named Wu Tiancheng. Yao Yuanfeng replies that while Lin Zichen is strong, he isn't at Wu Tiancheng's level yet, explaining that Wu Tiancheng was a monster who terrified the principal as a first year. Overhearing the name, Lin Zichen walks over and asks his teachers who Wu Tiancheng is. Yao Yuanfeng excitedly explains that Wu Tiancheng was a legendary student from a few years ago. As a first year, he single-handedly defeated the entire third-year elite class, shocking the school leaders. The teacher continues by listing Wu Tiancheng's incredible stats as a first year, a 100-meter dash in 6.12 seconds, a 3.96-meter vertical jump, and a 650-kilogram one-handed barbell lift. He asks Lin Zichen if he is impressed. Lin Zichen smiles nervously and admits he is a little impressed. However, he internally thinks Wu Tiancheng's feats were only on par with the strength he possessed during his 6th grade summer vacation. That night, the class celebrates their victory at a restaurant. Teacher Yao Yuanfeng holds up a soda for a toast. He joyfully announces that because Lin Zichen secured their win, the second-year teacher had to honor their bet and pay for everyone's feast. The entire class raises their glasses, cheering for Lin Zichen's performance. During dinner, Lin Zichen is surrounded by his classmates, including Yu and Chu Rui, now famous in school. They are all eager to know his training secrets and add him on WeChat. Lin Zichen finds this new attention a bit strange. Amidst the chaos, he observes that Shen Qinghan hasn't changed. Worried he won't be able to eat, she quietly puts food on his plate. During the celebration, Shen Qinghan suddenly gets a shocked expression. Looking flustered, she quickly tells Lin Zichen she needs to go to the restroom and rushes away. As she leaves, Lin Zichen notes that while some things change, her urge to pee when nervous or excited has remained the same. In the restroom, 2 of their female classmates are gossiping. One complains about how Shen Qinghan fawns over Lin Zichen like a maid, always pouring his drinks and peeling his shrimp. The other agrees, questioning how someone with Shen Qinghan's lack of strength could have gotten into the elite class if not for being his sycophant. She cruelly adds that their relationship won't last, as the difference in their abilities is destined to drive them apart. Unseen, Shen Qinghan overhears their entire conversation and is visibly hurt. However, instead of hiding, she confronts them. With newfound determination, she firmly tells the startled girls that she is not a sycophant. She is his childhood friend. Later that evening, as they walk home, Lin Zichen notices she seems dejected and asks if something is wrong. Looking down sadly, Shen Qinghan confides in him. She explains her mother always said she would grow out of wetting her pants. However, she reveals with frustration that even now, she still has to wear diapers to bed every night. Looking up at him, she says she feels disabled, like she can't even control her own bladder. Lin Zichen looks at a distraught Shen Qinghan and firmly tells her she is not disabled. He gently places his hands on her shoulders to comfort her, explaining that her inability to control her bladder is actually a superpower that hasn't fully developed yet. Shen Qinghan looks up with wide, hopeful eyes, questioning if it's really a superpower. Lin Zichen confirms it, telling her that her natural talent in the water is a manifestation of this power. Intrigued, Shen Qinghan asks if his own amazing abilities are also because he has a superpower. Lin Zichen confidently replies that yes, just like her, he also has a superpower. Excited by the idea, Shen Qinghan wonders what kind of power she might have. Lin Zichen reassures her it will definitely be a very powerful one. However, their path is blocked. A special team in protective gear is cordoning off a building, and an officer with a megaphone instructs the public to stay back while they exterminate rats. Their attention is drawn to the chaos inside. A man in an apron frantically swings a broom at a swarm of large rats, trying to fend off the exterminators. He screams at the officers to stop, pleading with them not to kill his brothers. His face twists in agony and rage as he continues to scream. Consumed by fury, the man charges at the officers, yelling that he will fight them to the death. Watching the scene,